climax of the football season of 1976. Will it be Dublin? Will it be Kerry? 35 minutes the first half, 35 minutes the second. The answer at the end of 70. Paddy Collins, the referee, checking his watch. Centre field man, Brian Mullins on the right, Bernard Brogan behind him. On the left, Cody Lynch, and behind him is Pat McCarthy. Dublin in the blue, and the green and gold, and Bernard Brogan, Brian Mullins. Feeding out of the wing towards John McCarthy. Brian Mullins. Kevin Morgan. Not a Kerry man has touched the ball yet, amazingly. Bernard Brogan. Morgan, and a shot that's gone wide. And in all that movement, from the centre of the field right up to the end. Here is Kevin Morton now going through. Out to Bernard Brogan, back into Morton. A blasting shot that went across the goal and went wide. Not a Kerry man has touched the ball until this kick out now by Paddy O'Mahony. Pat O'Neill taps it down. This is Ger O'Keefe of Kerry. The referee penalises the Dublin man. Mick O'Dwyer watching anxiously in the dugout. Paddy O'Shea. This is Pat O'Neill for Dublin. David Hickey. Jimmy Keaveney. Oh, lovely pass into Tony Hanaho. And the first goal of the game, a point by Tony Hanaho for Dublin. And here it is again, Tony Hanaho getting that delightful pass from Jimmy Keaveney, coming out to make an angle for himself and making no mistake. So after a minute and a half, it is Dublin 1 point, Kerry no score. Breeze almost non-existent, and sun certainly non-existent. Paddy O'Mahony's kick out. Mickey O'Sullivan for Kerry. Being bottled up over there, and the referee penalises the bottlers. Cody Lynch now to take this, and that line is the Dublin 70-yard line. Oh, and here come Kerry now. This is Brendan Lynch. Cullen safely into his chest. David Hickey and Paddy O'Shea. And both sides are claiming the ball. David Hickey, I think, has won the claim. Up to Tony Hanaho, and Tim Kennelly pushes them out over the sideline. And there's a line ball for Kerry, just outside the Kerry 50-yard line. Tim Kennelly, Pat McCarthy, and Pat Spillane, but not even Pat can get out to this one. So it's a line ball for Dublin. Gay O'Driscoll to take it. Gay, one of the most experienced members of the Dublin team. Oh, not a very good kick. It goes to Pat Spillane. Under 21 for Kerry, senior of course. And a nice dropping ball, and Paddy Cullen handling it safely. Brian Mullins down the field to Bernard Brogan, out along the wing now to the wandering Bobby Doyle. In it goes to John McCarthy. Deflected out there, but John's still going after it. Brought down with a little bit of unceremonious tackle there by Mickey O'Sullivan. We just see how unceremonious there it was. Down he came. Brian Mullins, a short one to Bobby Doyle. To Brian Mullins. Dublin kicking out the scores from out the field. Brian Mullins the scorer. And here he is. He's being chased there, but it doesn't worry him. He puts on the brakes and puts the Kerry man going the wrong way and sends it over the bar. 5 minutes gone. Dublin 2 points. Kerry no score. Paddy O'Mahony. Ogie Moran pushed in the back there, and there's a free for Kerry. Paddy O'Shea, one of the two Gardaí on the Kerry team, a short one to Paddy Lynch, one of the Lynch brothers on the team. This is John Egan now, trying to get inside Sean Doherty. Nice pass to Ogie Moran. Pat Spillane and Paddy Cullen in the right place at the right time, but the referee has penalised Paddy Cullen for what appeared to be a punch there. Let's have a look at it again. Across the goal mouth it came. There is Paddy Cullen going out with the ball, and he certainly pushed out Pat Spillane, who was at him there at the time. Mikey Sheehy to take it. And Mikey sends it over the bar for the first score for Kerry in the game after 6 minutes of play. Mikey Sheehy the scorer, and that makes it 2 points to 1 in favour of Dublin. Kick out to this side of the field. Pat O'Neill was kicked right down by Ogie Moran. To Brian Mullins. To David Hickey. And Dublin really racing at this stage. And David fouled just as he was kicking the ball with a push in the back there, a shoulder in the back on David Hickey. There it is. And it will be taken by Jimmy Keaveney, who has come out just 40 yards out from the Kerry goal. Almost in front of it, slightly to the left of it. There it is. Ogie Moran running up just ahead of it. And it's hit the upright, come back down. And cleared out by Ger Power to Mickey O'Sullivan. This is Gail Driscoll not holding it. Pat Spillane coming in. And the bounce of the ball goes well for Dublin there. Brian Mullins to Anton O'Toole to David Hickey. Paddy O'Shea says thou shalt not pass, and when Paddy says it, he means it. It comes now to Paddy Lynch. And Kerry attacking again with Pat Spillane under pressure. Back to Mickey O'Sullivan. And all the wide open space back there. Nobody up there. There's Paddy Cullen. Clears and gets the ball to Bobby Doyle, the right corner forward, who at the moment is on the left and now 70 yards from his own goal. This is the fair-haired Dr. Pat O'Neill. Gone back for it, John O'Keefe and Jimmy Keaveney. John O getting it out. That's Jimmy Deenahan. And Brian Mullins having a very, very effective game for Dublin. And the ball, oh dear, spun around there. The referee waves on the play, gives Tim Kennelly and Kerry the advantage. Paddy O'Shea. Pat O'Neill feeling this ball in the centre of the field to Bobby Doyle. Jimmy Deenahan trying to get out to him. Doyle up to Brian Mullins. Back to Doyle, back to Mullins. Across into the centre, John McCarthy's there. And so also is David Hickey, so is Paul O'Shea, and the referee penalises the Kerry man for a foul drawing of the boot there as David Hickey was going for the ball. There it is. And David Hickey is down, being attended to, but the referee waves off the would-be attender and says that David is all right, and there's a free in for Dublin and Jimmy Keaveney instead. Well, hardly instead, but shall we say because of. And here's the kick. And over the bar, another point for Dublin as Jimmy Keaveney sends that one over after 9 minutes of play, and that makes the score Dublin 3 points, Kerry 1 point. 2 scores from threes, and the remainder, that's the other two from play. Kick out to the centre of the field. Pat McCarthy in there, but the ball kicked off his boot by Bernard Brogan. Line ball for Kerry. Ger Power to take it. Exactly on the halfway line. Paddy Lynch. Up towards Pat Spillane. Pat Spillane in now towards John Egan, but nipping back for it there and getting it Kevin Moran. Anton O'Toole can't get in time. It's gone over the sideline. Line ball for Kerry on the 50-yard line. Just inside it, in fact. Paddy Lynch to take it. Now it's just outside it. Over towards brother Brendan. Brendan taps it down, and it's Pat McCarthy now. Up to Brendan Lynch. A lovely shot by Brendan. Oh, a delightful point by Brendan Lynch from a very, very awkward angle as we see it again, and just see what a lovely point it was. There he is in possession, turns round, and just see the angle. Over the bar, and that makes the score. Dublin 3 points, Kerry 2 after 11 minutes of play. Bernard Brogan fielding well in the centre of the field. Pat McCarthy trying to chase and still chasing the Dubliner. A nice interception there by Paul O'Shea. Out comes John Egan. And now let's see the Kerry machine moving. We've seen the Dublin machine. That's Brendan Lynch way over on the far side. That's John Egan. And it's still John Egan. And it's still John Egan as he sends that one over the bar after a lovely movement there that started way out the field. Brendan Lynch getting it in now to John Egan, and Egan getting past two Dublin men there who had intent in their heart, shall we say. And here he comes with his kick, and it's over the bar. The score now 3 points each after 12 minutes of play. Well, whether you're in New York or wherever you are, I hope you're getting the excitement of it. It's 3 points apiece. And Kerry settling down now after being very much out of the game at the early stages. But here come Dublin again. Tony Hanaho, Anton O'Toole, being chased by Ger Power. Out on the far side, Bernard Brogan gone up for it. And the point almost at the end line. A lovely easy point. It looked ridiculously easy, but it was anything but easy when you have a look at the top line there. See how near he was to the end line, and sends it over. Dublin 4, Kerry 3. 13 minutes gone in this first half. Paddy O'Mahony. This is Paddy Lynch. Paddy's kick under pressure there, out over the sideline, and it's a line ball for Dublin to be taken by Robbie Kelleher. Robbie, the left corner back, the number 4 here, just up on the right. Here he comes. Oh, Robbie, oh, Robbie, oh, Robbie. Straight out over the sideline. Line ball for Kerry, and Brendan Lynch is going to take it. You know what? I've seen Brendan Lynch, and so have you, send them over from here. But whether he's going to try this or not, I don't know. No, he's just satisfied to get it into the right parish. And the parish is the hands of Pat Spillane. And it's over the bar. Another point for Kerry. There it is again. Pat Spillane going for it. Look how he fielded that ball. And then fisting it over. And all Paddy Cullen or anybody else could do is look at it go over. 4 points apiece. This is Paddy Cullen now with the kick out for Dublin. Tony Hanaho switching the Dublin team. We'll tell you about it in a moment. Anton O'Toole, Ger Power after him. That's Tommy Drum who got it up there. David Hickey, Bobby Doyle, David Hickey, still David Hickey on the 14-yard line across the front of the goal. It's a goal! looked over and waiting for it was John McCarthy, and he palmed it into the net, and Dublin lead after 15 minutes with the score 1 goal and 4 points to Kerry's 4 points. Centre field again, Ogie Moran, way up the field, and Brendan Lynch going on for it. Brendan takes a shot, and it's saved by Paddy Cullen. Whether it was going to drop to the goal or go over the bar, who knows? It was saved anyway. This is Paddy Lynch being harassed by Brian Mullins, and that's a good word. And the referee penalising Dublin another 10 yards for dissent by Brian Mullins, and because of the change of distance from the goal, there's a change of kicker. It's Brendan Lynch to take it. Oh, a lovely ball, and caught in there by Pat Spillane. It's high, and it's wide. And the score remains, Dublin 1-4, Kerry 4 points. 16 minutes gone in this first half. Paddy Mahoney marching up and down one end of the field, while at the other, Paddy Cullen marches up to take the kick out. Tony Hanaho is playing, no, he's back in the centre again, and there was a switch for a few moments in the Dublin team, but it isn't in operation now. And here's John Egan for Kerry. Pat Spillane begging for the ball. He doesn't have to beg for long. He gets the pass, he takes his shot, and he sends it wide. 7 points to 4, and they're the kind of points that Pat Spillane has been sending over all year, except that the other ones were points. That one wasn't. 7 points to 4, that's 1-4 to 4 points. Pat McCarthy tapping it down. Mikey Sheehy, Paddy Lynch. Grabbing the ball, Robbie Kelleher for Dublin to David Hickey, who has moved up to take the pass. Out comes Bobby Doyle. Jimmy Deanahan has come out after him. Anton O'Toole now getting the pass. Still Anton O'Toole, Ger Power after him. Ger Power still in attention. Jimmy Keaveney getting this one over the head of John O'Keefe. Into John McCarthy, but Jimmy Deanahan lifted as John just didn't hold it. And I don't know whether this is basketball or Gaelic, but it's certainly attractive to watch. Bobby Doyle. Jimmy Deanahan having a hard time following. This is Anton O'Toole now for Dublin. And his kick blocked down. Paddy O'Shea. And the referee penalises Jimmy Keaveney for a foul there on Paddy O'Shea, and there's a free out about 30 yards out from the Kerry goal. John O'Keefe to take. Big John, who used to play out in the centre of the field, but nowadays is one of the real greats in the world of full-backs. The captain of the team, an Austin Stacks man. We can go back to the 50s, I think, for an Austin Stacks man captaining a winning Kerry team. At the moment, Kerry trail as Dublin leads 7-4. This is John McCarthy. Ger O'Keefe is after him. Ger Power under pressure. Tim Kennedy going back for Kerry. And a nice bit of feeding there by Kevin Moran, one of the two real youngsters on the Dublin team. And Kevin going way up the field. Mikey Sheehy after him, but Kevin takes his shot and blocked down by Paddy O'Mahony, and Ger O'Keefe, fortunately, very alert there, and Paddy O'Mahony has injured himself. But we follow the play. Paddy has hurt his thigh, and he's gone down in the Kerry goal, trying to pick himself, whether it's his thigh or his ankle. I think he's twisted his ankle, and he's walking up and down in the goal, rather worried. He's better now than he was a moment ago, as there's a free to Dublin coming back in towards the Kerry goal. Bernard Brogan. Bobby Doyle, Anton O'Toole, and Anton's shot has gone wide, and the score remains Dublin 1-4, Kerry 4 points, and Paddy Mahoney is still down. He is anything but happy at the moment. Paddy, who was doubtful a week ago because of an injured ankle, is calling for attention from the sideline. the John's ambulance man coming in to see him and having rapid attention down there as we have a close-up, and just looking over to the far side, Mick O'Dwyer going racing down to see if Paddy is all right. No, he is anything but all right. He just twisted himself, and it looks to me as if, yes, Charlie Nelligan is coming in as a sub. There is a call coming from the centre of the field from Mick O'Dwyer to the dugout, and it must be for Charlie Nelligan. Yes, Charlie coming into the field now on the far side. And there's Paddy Mahoney being attended to down behind the Kerry goal, and this is a severe blow indeed, although Charlie, who was a member of last year's minor All-Ireland team, well, he certainly is a first-class goalkeeper, so he is putting on the distinguishing jersey. In fact, Paddy Mahoney is taking one off, and we're back at play now. Jimmy Keaveney. That can be a shattering blow for Kerry to lose such a stalwart, not only a goalkeeper but also their penalty taker should a penalty arise. Line ball for Dublin. Correction for Kerry, about 35 yards out from the Dublin goal on the far side of the field. And what an injection for Kerry it would be to get a good score at this stage. Paddy Lynch. Well, they're not going to get it that way. That one gone wide. And the score, Dublin 1-4, Kerry 4 points. And Paddy being taken off the field now with a heavily bandaged right ankle, number 21 on his back. Well, that's the jersey that Charlie Nelligan had when he came on. Charlie now wearing the distinguishing yellow jersey for the goalkeeper. And now Paddy Lynch. Lovely bit of feeding there by Kevin Moran, and Kevin breaks again. He's really having a game of it today. Out to Tony Hanaho, being chased by Tim Kennelly, and the Kerry man claims, and the linesman agrees, that no Kerry man touched that ball, so it's a Kerry ball. Well, there's one way of getting a good view of the game. Me, I'll stay where I am. Tim Kennelly, and again Kevin Moran, this young player having a truly great game. Foul there and a free. And already a switch in the Kerry team. John Egan centre half forward, Mikey Sheehy back in full forward. Gay O'Driscoll's kick. And Anton O'Toole fetching it very well as he's held now by Jimmy Keaveney. And Jimmy Keaveney to have a go at a point from this very awkward angle. But Jimmy has been known to do it before. The score at the moment, 1-4 to 4 points in favour of Dublin. A stab shot that's come back out to Anton O'Toole. And Anton sends it wide. A nice stab shot there by Jimmy Keaveney across the goal, and the forwards looked as if they were going to get to it. It was eventually got by Anton O'Toole, and Anton, under pressure, sent it wide. Still 1-4 to 4 points. 23 minutes gone. Ogie Moran getting the ball in the air. Pat O'Neill after him. Brendan Lynch, the ball won't hop for him. John Egan now being chased by Kevin Moran. Mickey O'Sullivan. And Mickey is penalised. Mickey penalised, carrying the ball too far there. And there is a free out, but it does show what that Kerry forward line can do. Here's Mickey going on up the field with it now. Toe to hand. And the referee penalises him for carrying the ball too far. Eddie Cullen. About 10 minutes left of this first half. Ball fisted further downfield by Bernard Brogan to Anton O'Toole. This is Tim Kennelly now intercepting an intended pass. And Kerry going back to an awful lot more of the old-fashioned kicking from way down the field and getting distance into their kicks while their forwards are still trying to work the machinery. Dublin machinery also working. And it is now Tony Hanahoe to Jimmy Keaveney. And Jimmy Keaveney's shot is over the bar. A point for Dublin, scored by Jimmy Keaveney from a fairly awkward angle. That's his second score of the game. And here he is now in possession. A little bit of a dummy sail and over the bar. And as he kicked that ball over, Tony Hanahoe was injured with a knock there. It happened about 10 yards ahead of Jimmy Keaveney. The score, Dublin 1-5, Kerry 4 points, 25, over 25 minutes gone in the first half. Just having a look around now to see if there are any more switches in positions. Kerry full forward is Mikey Sheehy. And of course, goalkeeper Charlie Denigan standing still there, waiting for the kick out. Charlie, a member of last year's minor team, when he was a sub in the Senior All-Ireland as well, and here he is having his first taste of Senior All-Ireland competition. Meanwhile, they're still attending to Tony Hanahoe out in the centre of the field, about 30 yards out from the goal. And they're still attending to him. And the referee having a word with Jim Deenahan. The linesman has come in from the far side of the field, and heaven knows this is something. I've nothing in the world against Jimmy Deenahan or any other player, but congratulations to the umpire for drawing attention of the referee to something that went on that the referee didn't see. We've had an epidemic of that this year. The only thing that didn't happen was that 99 times out of 100, or well, 4 out of 5, shall we say, the linesman didn't tell the referee, and the referee didn't know until the game was all over. Brian Mullins with the ball now. Bobby Doyle, Jimmy Deenahan. This is a dangerous one. But Paddy Cullen, calm, cool, collecting the ball out towards David Hickey, but Pádraig O'Shea is penalised for pushing in the back. A quickly taken free there to Brian Mullins. And Tony Hanahoe, looking like Tonto with a bandage around his head there, going out for the ball with Tim Kennelly, and the referee penalises the Kerry man for a foul on Tony Hanahoe, and this free will be taken on the 21-yard line and about 10 yards in from the far sideline. A certain amount of tension creeping in around the Kerry defence and the Dublin attack. And David Hickey gone out to take this one. And a very, very short one, blocked down by Pádraig O'Shea. Tommy Drum shoulders Mickey O'Sullivan off, but back comes Pat Spillane. It's supposed to be top of the left, but back now 40 yards out from the Dublin goal, starting that run, setting dummies all round the place. A high one in now towards Mikey Sheehy, and something else has happened off the ball back there. But I don't think even the linesman saw that, as one of the Kerry men has just been picking himself up off the ground. And the referee going back down to have a word with somebody or other. Referee calling Jimmy Keaveney out to have a word with Jimmy Keaveney. Mickey O'Sullivan was the one who was grounded. And again, I repeat what I said a few moments ago. Congratulations to the linesman and the referee for keeping a tally on what's happening off the ball. Cody Lynch. And Palomini mishandles it. In fact, he doesn't catch it. It goes back to Robbie Kelleher. Brian Mullins. Out comes John O'Keefe and Tony Hanahoe coming out for it. This is Tim Kennelly. That's Gay O'Driscoll, and the game got kind of scrappy in the last 5 minutes or so. Just to show how scrappy, that kick of Gay O'Driscoll's out over the line without anybody getting within an ass's roar of it. 5 minutes left in this first half. Tim Kennelly to take the ball. To the centre. Mickey O'Sullivan, Tom Drum is after him. Tom Drum robs him. That's Tony Hanaho and up to David Hickey. And Tony O'Shea blocking it down, but it's Anton O'Toole now. He doesn't know what's coming behind. He does now. And Pat McCarthy gone back with the ball to Mickey O'Sullivan. It goes off his knees to Bobby Doyle. Out across. John McCarthy tapping it out. Gerald Keefe going for it with John McCarthy. Referee penalising the Dublin man for taking the ball up between his knees. 3 out for Kerry. John McCarthy there, penalised for taking that ball up between his knees off the ground. In fact, he did his bit of touching it on the ground as well. And now Gerald Keefe is down injured. Mick O'Dwyer coming in to see what it is. Kevin Heffernan coming in with a tic-tac message over on the far side to Bobby Doyle, and going over to have a consultation with him is Jimmy Keaveney. Ozzie Bennett, the masseur with the Kerry team, making the journey across the field now to where the man is down injured. And Cher, certainly not too sound, as they say at the moment. And it looks to me as if Kerry are going to have another switch here. Paddy O'Shea. No, but O'Dwyer is tic-tacking. He's taking Paddy O'Shea back right full back. He's taking Ogie Moran right half back. And they're going to bring in a sub forward. No. Gerald Keefe says, no, I'm all right. And Gerald Keefe has gone in full back, and John O'Keefe has gone right full back. So it's as you were. Mick O'Dwyer was making one change, John O'Keefe was making another. And John O's is the one that sticks at the moment. Anton O'Toole in the centre of the field. And that's Gay O'Driscoll in the centre of the field. Interception there by Tim Kennelly. Here's Pat McCarthy now for Kerry. And there is a foul, a nasty foul. And that is reminiscent of a year ago. And you'll just see how nasty it was. The elbow there by Sean Doherty as he was going by. And the referee having a word with Sean Doherty. And just saying any more of that and, well, off you'll go. Certainly a nasty one as the Kerry man was going through. I think it's Mikey Sheehy. It is. But he's going to take the free. He's not sufficiently recovered. One 5 to 4 points. And it's over the bar. Another point for Kerry, scored by Mikey Sheehy as a result of that foul and that free. And the score is now Dublin 1 goal and 5 points, Kerry 5 points, and Mikey has scored 2 of those 5 points. Little bit of evil in the game now. 2 minutes to go to half-time. Whether the referee will allow anything else for the stoppages that he allowed for the injured players. Here's Mikey Sheehy now. John Doherty after him, but Mikey still in possession. Being worried by Sean. Sean getting the ball up for Robbie Kelleher. Into Tom Drum. And Tommy Drum up the field with it now. Out comes Jimmy Keaveney. Ger Power spun around there, and the referee blows his whistle and awards a free out to Kerry, quickly taken by Gerald Keefe. No, by John. John, in fact, has gone in full back again. Pat McCarthy. Up along the wing now to John Egan. Locked down. John Egan again now cutting through. Dublin men around him. Brian Mullins is the final stumbling block over which he doesn't stumble, but he does surrender the ball. Ryan's clearance out now. where Paddy O'Shea has it. 14 yards from the Dublin goal. His kick blocked down gallantly and gamely by Brian Mullins. Brendan Lynch, Sean Doherty, heading towards the sideline. Kept in play by Tony Hanaho. Bobby Doyle back to David Hickey. John McCarthy getting Gerald Keith going the wrong way in the air there. And this is Anton O'Toole and John O'Keefe. This is Jimmy Keaveney up in the corner. To Anton O'Toole. John McCarthy intercepted there. This is Ger Parr, who's come across from the far wing. And he is allowed to go by. He was fouled, but the referee gave him the advantage. Waved on the play. Coming out for it now, Pat Spillane. And also in there, Gay O'Driscoll and Brian Mullins. And what a game Brian is playing. Into Robbie Kelleher. Up to David Hickey. And an attempted foul there by Paddy O'Shea. And the referee is penalising the intent, I think, as much as the action. That was the intent. And, well, then he was pretty well pushed, I would say, there anyway. So here we are with Bobby Doyle in possession. This is Tommy Drum. Tommy's kick is high, but it's gone wide. And Dublin still lead by this one goal. One goal and 5 points to 5 points. And I make it, we're in the 36th minute of the game. And I think the referee has, I know in fact he has, and so do you, added on a little bit of time for the delay with the injury of Paddy Manny and indeed with Gerald Keith. The kick out by Charlie Nanigan into the centre of the field. Paddy Lynch. Intended for an outcoming forward who wasn't. Gay O'Driscoll getting it instead for Dublin. Kevin Moran, Bobby Doyle, the wandering minstrel. And there goes the half-time whistle. And so, after a most interesting, at times rather closely contested first half, Dublin lead with the score 1 goal and 5 points to Kerry's 5 points. And I think even the most ardent Kerry man would agree that Dublin deserved to lead. Whether they're going to hold on to it or not, well, that's what the next 35 minutes will tell. And the second half is on, with Dublin leading 1-5 to 5 points, and Bernard Brogan breaking away with the ball. Anton O'Toole coming very quickly. Pat McCarthy getting it away. This is Paddy Lynch. And this is Kevin. Kevin, oh, very quickly recovered and nicely recovered by him. And all alone, Bernard Brogan. Nicely got there by Tim Kennelly under pressure. 3 Dublin men standing waiting for that one, and it was Bernard Brogan to David Hickey to Brian Mullins. Out comes Jimmy Deanahan. John McCarthy. And the referee has blown his whistle, and it is a penalty for Dublin. A penalty for Dublin, and here it is. There's John McCarthy in possession. And there is the foul on him, and there is a penalty to be taken by Jimmy Keaveney. Not since 1962 has a penalty been scored in an All-Ireland football final. Jimmy Keaveney now trying to make history. Charlie Nelligan trying to stop him from doing so. Don Feely of Roscommon way back in 62. Here's Jimmy now. It's a goal! Dublin now lead with this goal, 2 goals and 5 points to 5 points. And now the champions are really up against it. 2 minutes gone in the second half. Sean Walsh is in the game. Sean Walsh is in the game for Kerry. And gone off on the far side is Paddy Lynch. I would think we'll check it in a moment. Ogie Moran and Anton O'Toole. It's Pat McCarthy who's gone off. Pat McCarthy gone off. And here is Dublin again. Anton O'Toole, Ogie Moran after him. John McCarthy gone back to keep it in play, which he does. John O'Keefe, Mickey O'Sullivan, Bobby Doyle, Pat O'Neill and Bobby Doyle again. And Jimmy Keaveney's shot goes wide. And the score is now 11 points to 5 in favour of Dublin. Dublin 2 goals and 5 points. Here's Jimmy in possession, taking his shot. And the umpire showing what happened. Jimmy, who up to now has scored 2 goals and 2 points in the game, a record in an All-Ireland final is 2 goals and 5, scored 2 goals and 5 points, scored by Frank Stockwell. Correction, his total is 1 goal and 2, not 2-2, 1-2. It was John McCarthy who got the other goal for Dublin. Dublin attacking again now. This is Brian Mullins. Bobby Doyle, who's everywhere. And he has sent this one wide. Looking kind of disgusted with himself. Well, Bobby is supposed to be top of the right. And anybody who has the job of watching Bobby Doyle, he has job for which he would need overtime and travelling expenses. Because Bobby travels everywhere, and wherever he goes, if you have to follow him, well, you really have to have your legs fully tuned up for the occasion. Charlie Nelligan. Tony Hanaho, who has discarded the bandage. Brian Mullins robbed in the centre of the field by Pat Spillane. John Egan. Into the centre now to Mikey Sheehy. Mikey going for it. He's got it. He's on the 21-yard line. And the ball gone up, but it's gone wide. Paddy Cullen came out and upset the in-moving Kerry man. Here it is now. There's Mikey Sheehy going through. Paddy Cullen decides he will go. He gets his foot to the ball, and how lucky he was for Dublin that he did intercept that almost certain goal. And it's still 2-5 to 5 points in favour of Dublin. 30 minutes left in the game. Pat Spillane, Paddy O'Shea. And Sean Walsh and Sean Doherty playing handsies down there. That's Gail Driscoll, that was. That's John Egan. Brian Mullins, and the ball gone out over the line, brought out there by Brian Mullins, yes. And there is a line ball for Kerry to be taken by Ogie Moran. Brian just fixing his boot there. Ogie to take it. One lovely shot. And Paddy Cullen in perfect control, but the referee penalising Sean Walsh, the super sub as they call him, who was as much part of the team as any of the 15 that started, penalising him for being inside the small parallelogram. Bernard Brogan, David Hickey, Paddy O'Shea after him. And the shot from far out sent wide. And this is something that the Dublin forwards haven't mastered, but something they have mastered is leading Kerry at this stage 2-5 to 5 points. Charlie Nelligan. Oh, lovely feeding in the centre by Brian Mullins. Jimmy Keenahan. And the ball out over the sideline, line ball for Dublin. Brian Mullins to take it. To Bobby Doyle. Bobby is very near. It's over the sideline. It's over the sideline. And Sean Walsh has been promoted to come out centre field for Kerry. Nobody gone in full forward. It's Ogie Moran gone in full forward now. Jimmy Keenahan. And Pat O'Neill, who's been catching balls well in the air today, beaten by Pat Spillane. Tony Hanaho. Bobby Doyle. Anton O'Toole. What Jimmy Keenahan back there. Now Pat Spillane for Kerry, trying to break away from Pat O'Neill, and Pat says, don't stir, Pat, I have you. And now it's Paddy Lynch, and here are Kerry going up now. to it. Mikey Sheehy. Back to Mickey O'Sullivan, and Mickey takes his point. And once again, the Kerry forwards looking as if there was a strong possibility of a goal, but they didn't really convert the chance to the score. Here's the ball coming back now to Mickey O'Sullivan, and Mickey sending it over to make the score now. Dublin 2-5, Kerry 6 points. That's 11-6, 5 points between them. Tommy Drum, Tony Hanaho, Jimmy Keaveney and Angelo Toole together. Tony Hanaho gone up to get the ball. And the referee penalises Tim Kennelly for trying to embarrass him over the sideline, shall we say. And a free out for Kerry for touching the ball, for the Dubliner touching the ball on the ground. John O'Keefe to take it. Only 8 minutes gone in the second half. What an enjoyable game it is. Brian Mullins going higher than Sean Walsh. Gay O'Driscoll on hand to snap it up. That's Spillane, the opener of movements. John Egan. Brendan Lynch is up inside. John Egan still going on. And an interception there by Gay O'Driscoll. Out to Brian Mullins. And Brian Mullins now coming up the field to Bobby Doyle. Still Bobby going up, out to Tony Hanaho. These are the things that weren't happening for Dublin a year ago. Today they are. Anton O'Toole can't get up to that one. He'd want a lather. And now it's Ger Power. Mickey O'Sullivan, but the ball won't stay with him. Bernard Brogan. John McCarthy is fouled by Ger O'Keefe, and there is a free for Dublin. Just inside the Kerry 50. Here's the incident. Pushed off the ball. "20 minutes left in the game. 5 points between them. Jimmy Keaveney's kick. Oh, lovely feeling, but knocked out of John O'Keefe's hand. Scrambled away here by Ger O'Keefe, and the referee penalises Tony Hanaho for a trick. That looks like some other game, doesn't it? Free out for Kerry. And this is the trip coming now. Ger O'Keefe. Anton O'Toole. Cody Lynch. John Egan. Kevin Moran can't hold on to him, and I mean hold on. John Egan. Gay O'Driscoll after him. Feeding it inside to Mikey Sheehy, and Mikey passes it over the bar. No, yes it is, it's a point, over the bar for a point for Kerry, and that makes the score now 2 goals and 5 points for Dublin, 7 points for Kerry. John Egan being chased by Gay O'Driscoll, getting it inside, and over the bar. And the crowd beginning to get behind Kerry. 2-5 to 7 points, 11 points to 7. Not 12 minutes gone yet. And here comes Kerry again. This is Sean Walsh. This is Brendan Lynch. Sean Walsh again. Here he comes. He's on the 21-yard line. The 14. He takes a shot and he's penalised. He's penalised for carrying the ball too far. That's the kind of run that has made Sean Walsh what people are calling the super sub. And there he's carrying the ball too far, and the referee penalising both sides for this infringement as it arises, and Paddy Cullen to take the free out. Lovely bit of fielding by Brian Mullins. Make many an old-time Kerry man proud of him if he was a Kerry man, the way he's fielding that ball today. Pat O'Neill. This is Tony Hanaho. Dubliners going everywhere, waiting for a pass. Cody O'Shea tries to intercept it as it goes through David Hickey. There are two Dublin men inside. That's Angelo O'Toole trying to get inside, but his way blocked. This is Jimmy Keaveney. And the ball fisted goalwards, but Charlie Nadigan getting it. Ricky O'Sullivan. Paudie Lynch. Mikey Sheehy. Going to hold on to it, I'm sure, to get somebody racing up outside him or inside him. It's Brendan Lynch who's gone inside him. Brendan's got it. But he hasn't anymore. Mikey Sheehy has it. Sean Doherty trying to block his way. And the ball gone wide. And Pat Spillane in the goal, begging, why oh why didn't you send it over to me, because I was right in position to score. All very fine when you're looking, but when you're in possession with Dublin men all around you, it's not so easy. Jim O'Dwyer on up the far side of the field, trying to instill something into these Kerry forwards, and no doubt it is remember Cork. And that's just what they are trying to do now, and Dublin trying to make them forget it as Brian Mullins gets it to David Hickey. Brian Mullins inside for it. Hickey's got the ball. This is a movement that was worked in training, I'm sure. A shot that goes to Charlie Nadigan. And here come Kerry now. Paudie O'Shea. Tim Kennelly up outside him. Tim being chased by David Hickey. This is Brendan Lynch. Robbie Kelleher trying to get after them, but Brendan's still in possession. But it's gone wide, and the score remains 2-5 for Dublin, 7 points for Kerry, or if you prefer, 11 points to 7. Almost 15 minutes gone of the 35 in this second half. Paddy Cullen with the sun coming out now, shining in his eyes. Paddy Cullen with his baseball type cap on him, keeping the sun out of his eyes. Tommy Drum getting in for that one. Ger Power and Anton O'Toole under it together. John Egan come up looking for the ball now. And here come Kerry again. But Sean Doherty getting this one with perfect control. Ger O'Keefe down to Ger Power. Or John O'Keefe, I should say, to Ger Power. And Brendan Lynch. Heading near the sideline, he's brought it over the line. It's a line ball for Dublin. About 40 yards out from the Dublin goal, far side of the field. 20 minutes left in the game. 4 minutes, 4 points between them, and 20 minutes between now and final whistle. This is Ogie Moran. An intended pass to Paudie Lynch, and Paudie has to really run to get it, to get back. There's nobody else going to get there before him, but he had to get back to it. Paudie O'Shea going up into the attack. David Hickey after him. Ricky O'Sullivan. Pat Spillane. And Pat steadies himself and sends it over the bar, and now there are only 3 points between them. Pat Spillane, the scorer of that one, had to usually can pick off the points, and this is the way he picked this one off. Ball coming back out to him, and over the bar for a point for Kerry to make it 2-5 to 8 points in favour of Dublin. Pat Spillane had scored 2 goals and 12 points coming into this game today, and he scored 2 points up to now today. His 2-12 was in the championship so far. And Tony Hanaho playing a captain's part for Dublin, surely. Joe Power. Tommy Drum. Jimmy Deenahan and the wandering Bobby Doyle. Deenahan now to Sean Walsh. Kevin Moran. This is going to be a battle of stamina, and the man who's got the ball on the run now is Tony Hanaho. Knocked down by Tim Kennelly. John O'Keefe. Ger Power fouled in the back there, by the incoming Brian Mullins, but the referee has allowed play go on. He didn't blow his whistle, he waved on the play, gave Kerry the advantage, and taking advantage of the advantage is John Egan. Ogie Moran, a shot and another point, and now there are only 2 points between them. Ogie Moran is the one who finished it, and there he is in possession right in front of the goal, under pressure, and the score is now 2 goals and 5 points for Dublin, 9 points for Kerry. Ogie, who in 1962 was a mascot for Kerry here today. Here on that day, and here today, he is one of their scorers. Brian Mullins. This is Bobby Doyle. Jimmy Deanahan after him, but Bobby getting the kick in the hop. And it goes in over the heads of backs and forwards. John McCarthy is penalised for picking the ball off the ground. And he did it pretty on the side into which the referee was looking. And there is the incident. We can't really see. Yes, we can see the pickup. Here's the play, back in action now. Sean Walsh getting the ball upfield. Mickey O'Sullivan not getting to it as fast as the Dubliners. Brian Mullins run into there by Sean Walsh, and I'm just wondering just who is going to last the pace the better. This is David Hickey, and that is a point by David Hickey from out on the far side of the pitch to make the score now 12 points to 9. That's David's first point of the game, and indeed his 6th of the championship. 2-9, and the score now is 2-6 to 9 points. 2 goals and 6 points to 9 points in favour of Dublin. And here come Kerry, but it's a free for Kerry as Sean Walsh is fouled. Gerald Driscoll getting ready to come into the game, but here comes Kerry again. Mikey Sheehy into the centre, but Kevin Moran again. Kevin, who's a real stumbling block to this Kerry defence. And his clearance goes out to the waiting, all alone, Paddy O'Shea. Mickey O'Sullivan. Mikey Sheehy. Back out to Pat Spillane. Across to Ogie Morton. Ogie just outside the penalty area takes a shot and it's gone wide. And I know people may argue there is a Dublin sub coming in here now, and there's also a Kerry sub. The Kerry sub coming in is Gerald Driscoll. And we just see who's going off the various teams. Gerald Driscoll has come on for Kerry, and on for Dublin is Fran Ryder. That's Fran Ryder who's come on as a sub for Dublin. Mickey O'Sullivan has gone off the Kerry team. We'll sort who's gone off the Dublin team in just a moment. This is Robbie Kelleher. Anton O'Toole with the ball. It's Tony Hanno who's gone off the Dublin team. The captain has gone off. Robbie Kelleher now with the ball. Very near the sideline out there, but kept in play by Ger Power. And Ger brought it out as he was running. He couldn't steady himself, and he brought it out over the sideline. Still limping a bit there. You'll notice Ger with that right ankle pretty heavily bandaged following the knock in the first half. Dublin leading by 3 points. 21 minutes gone of the 35. Pat O'Neill. David Hickey. John McCarthy. David Hickey. And Tim Kennedy intercepting there, almost making a mess of the interception, but quickly catching it. And Ogie Moran, who's come out into the half line now, way up the field, but Sean Doherty is there. Out now to Fran Ryder. Up to Anton O'Toole. Brian Mullins is inside, but Anton is still going on. Taking his shot, but sending it wide. Scoring possibility there, but no score, and the score remains 12 points to 9. 2-6 to 9 points. 22 minutes gone. Charlie Nelligan, and Kerry not wasting any time about kicks out. Intended pass that doesn't quite go to Pat Spillane, but it does go to Ger O'Driscoll. Cody O'Shea right through the centre. 3 Dublin men for every Kerry man, and that's the way it was a year ago, only the jerseys were the other way around. Ger O'Driscoll with the ball to Fran Ryder. Ger Power intercepting there. Coming out for it, Mikey Sheehy, who hasn't really got settling at all today. Gay O'Driscoll beating him, but he in turn beating Gay, and the referee penalises the Kerry man for a bit of holding there. 3 to Dublin. The red glove Kevin Moran to take it. Member of the under-21 team to another member of the under-21 team, Tommy Drum. To Anton O'Toole. Ger Power tries to save him, but Anton goes through him. This is Brian Mullins, and it's another goal! Another goal for Dublin! Brian Mullins, the scorer! And here's Anton O'Toole up to Brian Mullins, just on the verge of the parallelogram, and into the net, and it's a goal. 15 points to 9, and one of the Kerry men down injured in the parallelogram. Dublin 3-6, Kerry 9 points, and we make it 11 minutes left in the game. And let's have another look at that goal, and Anton O'Toole making his way through. Here's Anton, he has just gone through Ger Power at this stage. There is Brian Mullins, and that left foot of his quite close to the parallelogram, but he got the ball, sent it into the net, and it's now 3-6 to 9 points. And they're still attending, as Paddy Cullen down at the other end of the field, they're still attending to a Kerry man up in the goal mouth. And there's happiness now in the hill, because up to that goal, well, things could go anyway. In fact, they still could, but it's certainly making that road all the longer for the Kerry man. Tim Kennelly is the man who was down injured and appears to be gone off. A quickly taken kick out, which is taken by Pat Spillane. Pat Spillane to John O'Keefe, and John sending it upfield, but here comes Dublin again. Robbie Kelleher. David Hickey now. Brian Mullins with the ball. Into John McCarthy, and John McCarthy over the bar, a point for Dublin. Brian Mullins to John McCarthy. There's Brian shaking off the attention of Pat Spillane. Into John McCarthy, and John fully justifying his presence on the field, scoring a goal and a point of Dublin's total of 3-7. Sean Walsh, but Kevin Moran is there. And still Kevin Moran. And it's still Kevin Moran. And what's more, he has sent it wide. Well, it was a long journey up the field, and what a pity it had to end the way it did. Tim Kennelly, he's back now with a bandage on his head. So we've got Tontos all around the place, at least we had earlier. This is Tommy Drum. Tommy trying to score a point from out the field, but failing, and the score remains 16 points to 9 in favour of Kerry. A correction in favour of Dublin. In favour of Dublin, 16 points to 9. Paddy Cullen looking anxious. He's a long way from the action, but he too remembers what Kerry did in Cork. They got up from being this far behind, exactly this far behind, in this duration of time. But somehow or other, I wonder about today, because the Dubs are really moving. And this is John McCarthy. John O'Keefe, pushed by Jimmy Keaveney, and a free out for the Kingdom. Quickly taken to Tim Kennedy, and look at him. Aided there by Ogie Moran. Look at Ogie move. Still Ogie, John Egan, and Kevin Moran. Kevin Moran Moran's kick blocked down by Ogie Moran, and Ogie sends it over the bar, narrowing the gap. But it's still a pretty wide gap. Here we are now, the ball being blocked down, one by one Moran as another tried to kick it and over the bar. The score, 3 goals and 7 points for Dublin, 10 points for Kerry. That's 16 points to 10. And if somebody had pulled up an armchair, Paddy would sit on it before he comes up to take this kick out. 7 minutes left in the game. Sean Walsh with it. Mikey Sheehy. But he's beaten, and the ball goes loose to Robbie Kelleher. And Ger Power held there, resenting the holding as he was trying to get away, which was quite understandable. A free to Kerry on the 50-yard line. Ogie Moran to take it. And Ogie has got hurry written all over him. Ball fielded in there by Robbie Kelleher. And the kick blocked down by Pat Spillane. Here's John Egan racing out for it with Robbie Kelleher. Pat Spillane. They're trying to work through for a goal. But it's a tough wall that Dublin have built there, and the main rock in it is this man, young Kevin Moran. And another rock in it is this man, the tallest man in the field. He's beaten this time Brian Mullins by Tim Kennedy, but Kevin Moran blocks down the kick. Ger Power. David Hickey. Darrell O'Keefe is fouled, and there's a free for Kerry 60 yards from their own goal. 5 minutes left in the game, 6 points between them. And the referee telling Paddy O'Shea to go back a bit with his kick. Out towards John Egan, John getting it, 70 yards from the Dublin goal. Tommy Drum after him, Brian Mullins standing by. Jimmy Deenahan, supposed to be a back, now 70 yards out from the Dublin goal, and this is Brendan Lynch all alone. And Brendan Lynch is fouled. No matter how well David Hickey tells it, he was fouled, and there's a free for Kerry. Will Brendan try for a point or lob it in, hope that the forwards get it into the goal? Here comes Brendan. He lobs it across in front of the goal. It's deflected in, and Paddy Cullen gets it into his hand and clears it out. Coming to get the clearance, Jimmy Deenahan. Paddy O'Shea. And Paddy's kick is wide, and the score remains Dublin 3-7, Kerry 10 points. My stopwatch says 4.5 minutes between now and the final whistle. Well, there's one enthusiast coming out on the field with a flag, and Robbie Kelleher is unceremoniously telling him to get the heck out of there. Paddy Cullen. Paddy O'Shea. John Egan trying to get it in, but Sean Doherty is there. And Bobby Doyle. He's supposed to be a forward. He's 21 yards out from his own goal. Brian Mullins gone in, centre half forward. Anton O'Toole is moving out. Everybody's playing anywhere at the moment. Jimmy Deenahan. Gay O'Driscoll penalised for picking the ball or trying to pick it off the ground. A free to Kerry on the 14-yard line, or just outside it. Ger O'Driscoll is going to take it. No, Mikey Sheehy is going to take it. And Mikey taps it into the goal mouth, and Paddy Cullen high in the air for it, gets it and clears it out to the far side of the pitch. But it's Sean Walsh now. Ogie Moran. Ger Power it was, and now here's Paddy O'Shea trying to get it in. It's gone off the behind of a Dubliner, and it's a 50 for Kerry. Kerry trying for all their worth to do something about it. But what the scoreboard says is 16 points to 10, and there's only one man of the Kerry team in the Kerry half outside of the goalkeeper. That's John O'Keefe. We follow the play. This is Ger O'Driscoll. Ger takes a shot, and it has gone wide. And so, with just over 2 minutes left in the game, 2 minutes between Dublin and a regaining of the Sam Maguire Cup, Paddy Cullen places the ball for the kick out. Dublin, who came to the All-Ireland last year as the cocky champions, if you like, and were beaten by the team that they beat today. They came as the underdogs against the champions, and right now it looks as if St. Brendan and every other saint that they ever had in Kerry will have to come to their aid to retain this championship. Sean Doherty with it now, and Bobby Doyle. And racing up for it, Anton O'Toole. Bobby Doyle has gone down from an injury that he got there a moment ago. Anton O'Toole still with the ball, penalised for changing the ball one hand to another. A free out to Kerry from about 25 yards out from the goal line. Jimmy Keaveney not questioning the decision, but questioning how much is there to go. Bobby Doyle is all right. John O'Keefe down the field. Pat O'Neill. Sean Walsh up towards the wing and Brendan Lynch, but Brendan just couldn't get to it. Pat Gogarty is coming into the game as I thought he would before the final whistle. Pat, who was off because of an injured hand. Just who's gone off, I'm not too sure. Bobby Doyle is going off to let Pat Gogarty into the game. Ball belted out into the crowd by Ger O'Keefe. Bobby Doyle has come off the field. It isn't that he's been taken off or injured or anything like that, but Pat Gogarty has the distinction of being on the field in this All-Ireland victory for Dublin, and I say that with about a minute left in the game. Brian Mullins, who's had such a wonderful game for them. And here's Pat Gogarty. He's still a little bit nervy coming on, but getting the ball to Brian Mullins. And Anton O'Toole, and a point. A point scored by Anton O'Toole from a pass by Brian Mullins. And that, believe it or not, was Anton's first score of the game. There's the pass, there's the holding of the ball, and there's the fist over the bar. 17 points to 10. 3 goals and 8 points to 10 points. We're coming up to the final whistle, and Dublin are All-Ireland champions of 1976. And they fully merited the victory, and look at that for excitement on the hill. Three goals and 8 points for Dublin, 10 points for Kerry, and the Jacks are well and truly back.
I have now great pleasure in presenting this trophy to Tony Hanaho, who played his own part in bringing the victory to
Tony Hanaho receiving the cup now as Paddy Cullen holds Paddy Cullen Jr. high, just as Tony Hanaho holds the Sam Maguire Cup high, and what an eye he's got.